Hello, today I'm here to trigger many of you. I'm here to be a little abusive and I'm here to tell you why you still suck at downhill skateboarding. Also, quick disclaimer, a lot of people do downhill skateboarding for fun. They're not really in it to get super good or skate the gnarliest roads. It's just a really favorite pastime of theirs. And if you're one of those people, or if that's what you want out of it, don't feel too pressured by this video, pressured by other people to get better, pressured by social media and you're seeing other people skating super gnarly roads and feeling like that's what you need to do, in order to be happy with your skateboard. Just do your thing and be happy, and that's perfectly fine. But there is the argument that getting really competent with your downhill skating allows you to have a much more sustainable skate career. It allows you to skate safer, as you're always going to be skating well within your limits. You don't want to be the person who goes to a really gnarly road, then you're just there pending over the double laned road. That's just a bad look. That's just extremely unsafe. I worry about those people. I don't know, I worry a lot. It's not my responsibility, but learn to pend in a single lane. It's not that hard. Okay, it's hard, but it can be done with a bit of practice. So there are a few reasons why you're not really getting any better at downhill skateboarding, but one of the biggest ones is that you're not putting in time to skate. By that I mean, you might be skating this week and then maybe you skate the next week after that or 2 weeks later. You just don't have a consistent amount of practice. So every time you step on board, you're relearning to balance, relearning things. So it's like you're always starting from scratch. It's really important to skate regularly. For example, you maybe want to skate 3 times a week. That will allow you to get really good because you're getting regular practice and you're able to build on what you did on the last session rather than starting from scratch. It's really, really important. And if you want to get good at skating fast, maybe set aside like an hour or two every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for example, and that's a good sort of schedule. And then you don't only have to skate regularly, right? I know some of you are like, dude, I skate like every goddamn day, bro. I already do this shit. No, you have to skate with the goal of improving. You have to skate with the idea that I'm going to work on a specific thing. You're like, okay, this week I'm going to work on my Coleman slides. I'm going to do like 5 Coleman slides at the beginning of each session. For example, I used to do 5 hillside pre-drifts, 5 toe-side pre-drifts, 5 pendies, and 5 toe-side pendies, and that would really allow me to improve quickly and make sure that I was building up on something. And to be totally honest, like the improving part, the part where you go back to the drawing board and try the same thing over and over again, really, really sucks. I can attest to this, and it's an extremely frustrating process. But to make this more sustainable, you could be like to yourself, like, yo, I'm gonna do 5 to 10 pre-drifts, and then just leave it at that at the beginning of the session. Spend the rest of the session dicking around, having fun with your friends, skating for fun. And that's the most sustainable way to ensure that you're getting in repetition, but that you're not making skating a really frustrating process for yourself. And another key thing that will help you loads is either recording yourself or skating with an experienced rider. An experienced rider will allow you to get like feedback from someone who's like, hey, your gear is wrong, it's not set up properly, or hey, your form is bad, you're putting your legs in the wrong way, or hey, you're not set up carving, stuff like that. Filming yourself will allow you to compare your own videos with that of a professional on YouTube or something like Daniel254, you know what I mean? And you're able to compare, see what he's doing right, they're doing right, she's doing right, and what you're doing wrong. And that will allow you to sort of fix the little mistakes that you're making. And the super awesome part about like recording yourself is that you can also upload those videos to different forums and get advice from all sorts of professional riders. Also, just a word of warning, you shouldn't listen to everybody's advice. There's some people out there that want to give you advice even though they're not that great at skating. They just say whatever comes to mind. So do get advice from people, but just like sort of pick and choose who you listen to. And the other thing is that a lot of people aren't really humble enough to look up guides or to ask for advice. I don't know if humble enough is the right word to use there, or maybe it just doesn't come into their mind. But I see someone struggling with something over and over for like loads of months, when if they just look up a guide, compare their videos with their own form and work on something for like a month, they'll be able to do it and it will resolve all their problems. So, make sure you look up guides in case you're struggling with anything. You never know, it might help solve your problems. And getting really good takes time. You need a sustained effort for a long period of time. Don't just give up if you don't get the pre-drift, like first try, second try, 10th try, 100th try. some of these things take a lot of time for it to enter and settle into your brain, into your limbs, for it to become a natural movement for yourself. So do that shit. Another thing that really holds people back is that they're not investing in quality gear. Now, by quality gear, I don't mean the best of the best of the best, but like something decent quality that's not going to hold you back as a rider. 100%, if your gear is super cheap, it's definitely going to hold back your riding experience and make it more difficult for you. For example, if you have a cheap Amazon board and you're trying to learn to slide on it, or you have a mini cruiser, those are both tools that aren't very good for the job, and they're going to make learning to slide a lot more difficult than if you had a proper downhill skateboard. Even small things like not getting bushings appropriate for your weight or not replacing your really old bushings, these are things that can really hold you back. I've experienced this with my friends. I'm like, hey man, you need to buy bushings. You don't have the correct bushings for your setup. They're like, nah. I lend them some bushings and they're like,
you know what, Booger, you're so right, man. That my setup feels so much better than before. I'm like actually progressing now. I'm having a great time.
And I'm like, I told you, you dumbass. I fucking told you. But yeah, having bad gear can definitely hold you back, and it's worth the investment if you want to progress your skills to invest into decent quality gear. I'm not saying anything expensive. I'm not saying precision trucks. I'm just saying like good quality cast trucks, a decent downhill board, and good wheels for learning to slide. Also, good slide pucks as well, because if you have those really grippy, cheap slide pucks, they can like grab and make learning to slide quite difficult. So a lot of people don't talk about how important they are for beginners, and I hope this is good enough me mentioning it. Still on the topic of quality gear, you also want quality safety gear. You want a nice certified helmet, nice knee pads, nice hip pads, and nice elbow pads. Obviously it's expensive to get all of them, so do get what you can get. Helmet, mandatory of course. Safety gear, good safety gear is really important. It's going to allow you to fall, but you're going to be able to get back up without a scratch and keep trying again and again and again and again. And the key to like learning fast is being able to try again and again and again and again, learning from your mistakes and then trying again and again and again and again. So good safety gear is really key. I've seen people get injuries on their hips or injuries here or wherever, and then they're just bummed out for the rest of the session. They're really down in the dumps. People is me. It's happened to me many times, and it's just not necessary, man. So safety gear is really important. It allows you to keep the momentum going. The other tip, and I think this is extremely underrated, is that you don't have any lower body flexibility and you're not working on your flexibility. Downhill skateboarding is actually a sport that requires a lot of lower limb mobility. A lot of people don't really have that ingrained because as a society these days, we spend a lot of time sitting down in chairs, so that ruins our lower body mobility. So that's something a lot of people don't naturally have. You have to spend time actively working it, improving it, and I highly recommend having a warm down session of stretches after your skate session, and this will allow you to improve it with time as your skills improve. A lot of people would be so much farther with their skating if they worked on the lower limb mobility. This is facts. This is facts, man. And I don't like how it's not as important for a lot of people. Anyway, I think it's important. I've already said it. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Hello, this voiceover Booger. Another problem is a lot of people get set in their ways. They attach themselves to a specific riding style, specific set of wheels, and don't want to try anything else. That's just a way of limiting yourself. I don't know how many times in my skate quote-unquote career that I've tried something different and it's really helped me improve as a rider, trying like square-lipped freeride wheels or trying a different formula of wheels or different trucks. So be open to trying things out, be open to taking suggestions, and don't be stuck in your way. Lastly, I feel some people out there are pretty arrogant. They think just because I have the best wheels, most expensive trucks, most expensive decks, I don't have to put as much time into practicing everything. I have the best, so this should be easy mode for me. Well, that's not the case at all. You still need to put in the time to figure these things out and skate well. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you everybody for watching. This is not like a hard sort of rule, fast and rule that you have to follow. Pick what works for you and discard what doesn't. I know all of us have jobs or whatever, don't have as much time to dedicate to this. So yeah, just figure it out and I'm sure you'll be fine. Thank you for watching.